good? Let's see here. Had us a little bit of a false start there. Let's try this again. Let's see here. Let's go to content. And let's go live. We're going to start in about 60, 90 seconds, y'all. Let's see here. And we're live right now, so anything can happen. Let's see here. All right, let's come right here. There it is. All right, let's do it. We got us a show. Let's see how this goes.
Warning, the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders is intended for a mature audience only. The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond since 2011. You're listening to the RCWR Show. Now, your host, live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Yo, what's going on? Lee Sanders here. You're checking out a live Thursday late afternoon edition of the RCWR Show, dropping for Thursday night. I want to say Thursday night, but it's not quite Thursday night yet, but dropping for Thursday of March 25th. 2021. What is going on, good kind people? Now, some of you guys may be saying, wait, Thursday show. What's going on here? I missed the memo. What's going on? We actually were supposed to do a Wednesday night show for you guys, but my diabetes was actually getting the best of me Wednesday night. I watched all of Dynamite, NXT, and everything. I had already got the show thumbnail, already got my show notes ready to go. I was ready to rock and roll with the show, but my diabetes just started kicking my ass a little bit. And one of the signs that I know that, something's going on here, that's not good. I started getting a pounding headache. I start feeling a little bit disoriented. I feel a bit groggy. And it's kind of really hard for me to concentrate. And so usually when that happens, it's ultimately the result of I didn't take time to eat something. And I had to think back to, okay, well, what did I have for breakfast, if I had breakfast at all? And all I had yesterday at that point was an apple. And I had nibbled on a few jelly beans here and there. So I couldn't go downstairs and grab something because we basically had a handyman down there. It was rather messy, and I'm trying to take it easy since I had got my COVID shot, because they say those first 2 weeks you really want to make sure you're playing it smart, really be mindful of your surroundings and everything. Just try to make sure that there's no complications after getting your vaccine and everything. So I hit my girl up and I said, hey, look, you're gonna kick my ass, but all I had was an apple today. It's like, is there any way you could maybe pick us up some late dinner, and I'll pick up the tab? And she said, yeah, sure, what you want? So so we had a little late dinner when she came in here last night. It was nice. It was actually nice. I didn't mind it, as she's been kind of hard to catch up with within recent weeks, because she's been stepping it up at her job. I mean, she's got my mad fucking support. You guys have no idea, man. I mean, this girl is working damn near 17 hours. About almost 4 of those hours, she's not even on the clock for. That's how dedicated she is to her job. And I told her, I said, you got to start toning that down. You got to find that balance. And I told her, I said, look, it's like, she's due for a raise. So I told her, I said, look, they better give you that raise. I was like, if they don't give you that raise, it's like, honestly, I mean, they pay her good as it is, but like, no, it's like they don't give you that raise. Like, you need to seriously just pump the brakes, scale back on that production, and hell, maybe even go look for something else if push comes to shove. And she's like, yeah, you're right. Maybe after the wedding. Like, yeah, probably after the wedding. Last thing you want is to have a whole bunch of shit on your plate going into a wedding, right? But so it was actually nice catching up with her because I hadn't really spent that much time with her this week. It's pretty much been 2 ships passing by, which is weird because I don't go back to work until this weekend. So all I've been doing this week is spring cleaning around the house. Now that I'm feeling 10 times better, been doing a little bit of remodeling here and there. But that's really it. Finally got to my damn comic book stash. Mitch knows exactly what I'm talking about too, because I think I shared the picture on social media. There's like this picture where you can see on my dresser, I've got this big ass stash of comic books that's like, in the little paper bag and everything. And the comic books, it's like yay fucking high, right? And these were all just new comics that I had bought, and I had yet to really crack a fucking dent in them. It was hilarious, man. So, last night, as a matter of fact, once I had the dinner and I was feeling a little bit better, I had finally started, okay, well, you know what? I'm here. I did a little bit of straightening up. I had myself a nice little nightcap. I was like, okay, let me crack open these comics over here. Let me see what's going on with these comics. Cracked it open, and my God, I must have been reading for about, I would say I was probably reading for about maybe 2 hours, give or take. I read about 2 hours worth of comic books. I was checking out the new Thor series by Donny Cates. If you guys are not familiar with that, you're kind of into comics, or maybe it's been a good minute since you had picked up a comic book, you definitely want to check out that series. Let me tell you something. Anybody that was a big fan of Thor, especially in the 80s, 90s, maybe even start of the 2000s, when you pick up that Donny Cates series, it really takes you back to that childhood you had when you were picking up the Thor comics back in the day. And you can just feel his passion. You can feel his attention to detail. And it's very, I'm telling you, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys right now, but it is one hell of a fucking series. I really love the way that they opened it up. They went in fucking strong. Tell you that right now. They went in very, very strong. Whether you're a casual comic book fan or seldom you pick up a comic, I promise you, especially if you care a great deal about a great riveting story, you will definitely find from the minute that you pick up the first issue, you're hooked. You're fucking hooked. Let me tell you something. I went out of my way and I had collected, because my local comic book store, they actually did not have every single Thor issue, because right now they're up to the 13th issue. And I believe the 14th issue, the 14th issue is not going to come out until about April 15th, 16th, 17th. So the latest issue literally just came out. But I wasn't able to find every single issue at my local comic book store. When I first began collecting, at that point, they were already up to, I want to say they were up to maybe issue 10. By the time I had found out about the series. So there were actually some issues I had to go on eBay to find. And I was like, and I found them too, it's weird how they got the comics set up today, man, because particularly with that Thor series, those of you that actually have the series, or, you're up on your comic book game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You think you got the actual issue, and there's about 5, 6, 7 freaking variants. It's freaking insane, man. Freaking insane. So, yeah, so I wrapped that up. Nice little dent. So, earlier this morning, I probably read about issues 3 through 13 is what I did. And I just pretty much paused on that note, really processed it. Only thing I got left now, I have finally finished a couple of weeks ago. I meant to tell you guys, I have finally finished the next Batman 4-issue miniseries. Remember, that's the joint covering a black Batman. I kind of talked about that a little bit a couple of weeks ago, but that's another one I recommend you guys check out. They're actually getting ready to do another next Batman miniseries. It's already out right now. It's called The Next Batman Second Son. It's available digitally right now, but the first 3 issues, if I remember right, that's not going to be available in trade paperback until April. Sometime mid-April is when it's going to be coming out. But I had checked that out. That was pretty good. So only thing I got left now, I've got a Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man crossover that had happened a couple of years ago. It's a trade paperback, basically, of a collection of that little mini-series. I think it's a 5-part mini-series. And Image Comics crossover series that's also written by Donny Cates, because it was cool. When I went to go check out Thor, and I was talking to my local comic book guy, he was like, he's like, man, let me tell you something. That Thor series, he's like, well, what do you know? What have you heard about it so far? You know, and I told him a little bit that I know, and he's like, oh, dude, it's the fucking shit. You're gonna fucking love it. He's like, you know, you big on Donny Cates? I said, just what I found out. I'm intrigued. I have a feeling I'm gonna like what I get from the guy. I said, I do remember reading maybe a couple of pages here and there, but I really don't know that much. He said, well, you're gonna love that, but you know, if you're already a fan of his and you're picking up all of those Thor comics, it's like, let me show you this other series that he's writing right now. And he told me about how Donny Cates has been doing Venom, and I'll probably check out the Venom stuff on the back burner. But yeah, I got the Image Comics crossover joint that I hear is pretty good as well. So I'll be dipping into that bad boy next when I get some free time. So you know, I'm taking it nice and easy this week. Hope you guys been taking it nice and easy as well. We're going to do a nice little laid back show, you know, as best as humanly possible. You know, we'll talk about some stuff here and there. Definitely some wrestling, some non-wrestling related stuff. I'll definitely give you my thoughts about what's going on. As far as I see, it's a lot of buzz too. I'll give you my thoughts about Kane going into the WWE Hall of Fame. I'll also give you my thoughts about Big Khali going into the WWE Hall of Fame. So we got a nice little show that we're definitely going to be able to do for you guys. I want to try to have this show be as nice and give me a second here. Blah 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 blah. Okay, that's spam. And send. Anyway, I thought that was a business opportunity there. It was not a business opportunity. So yeah, we got a nice little show that we're going to be doing for you guys. So, you know, kick back, relax. I want to try to have this be a little nice, tight little show. It's about 5:44 p.m. right now. I want to try to see if we can have this be done way before 7:30, because I don't want to step on my amigos' toes, because I know some of my friends are going to be doing shows tonight. Please, with regards to the thoughts about NWA, if you saw the thumbnail via YouTube, you know I'm going to be talking about NWA. I have a specific order. I kind of want to I have no notes. I just have like a specific order. I want to talk about things. So anything that you guys are like, you know, I did tell you guys to think about wrestling and non-wrestling related questions you could ask me for this show. We were supposed to do it Wednesday, but you can ask me wrestling, non-wrestling related questions. But my best advice would be try to think of something that you feel I'm not going to tackle most likely. That's the only thing. Don't ask me something that, honestly, if you just wait a couple of minutes, you're going to get your answer, because I'm going to cover it anyway. All right. So, but yeah, think of some, if you got some questions, think of some good wrestling or non-wrestling related questions, and I'll do my best to tackle it for you guys. All right. So anyway, let's see, where do we start? I guess, you know, where we could start is we could get into a little bit of AEW Dynamite. Look, honestly, and I have not seen the ratings yet. I do have a URL copied, ready to go. A buddy of mine had sent it to me. And he said, Lee, like, you didn't post your ratings predictions last night. So he's like, whenever you're ready, just click this this link. He gave it to me earlier today. He said, whenever you're ready, just click this link. You'll see the ratings for last night. So based on what I saw from AEW and NXT last night, I would say, both shows really, it felt like a tie in quality, overall quality. It kind of felt like a tie. Maybe my opinion will change as we dive a little bit further into both shows, but Dynamite for this week, that's all I gotta say, man. I'm going. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it here. All right. So, first matchup of the night: Kenny Omega taking on Matt Sydal. Look, you know what? I thought that was a good opener for Dynamite. Very strong. I felt much needed as well. I gotta tell you something, and I'll be doing Impact Showdown this week. It was so funny because I had somebody reach out to me and say, "You're not doing Impact Wrestling reviews anymore." It's like, and we were almost 7 days removed from doing a Sacrifice post show. And I told the person, I said, hey, look, I had came down a little sick or, dealing with some after effects with the COVID vaccination. This set up a chain of events. You think I had got, oh man, sorry to hear that. Glad you're back on the saddle again. No, all I got was, okay, thanks. And it was like, you motherfucker. I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding. That was just kind of down, Just give me what I want. It's kind of like one of those type of deals. Well, fuck you too. Shit. You just keep on using me until you use me up. I'm not baby. Why you gotta be so cruel? No, brother, I don't know what it's like being used, but you just keep on using me. I'm just like, I don't know the lyrics of that song. I'm just fucking, I just know the hook. That's all I know, man. Till you use me, yeah. Anyway. Kenny Omega, I like this outing more on Wednesday night. And I'll tell you the reason why. What I saw of him on Impact was over the top, extremely comical. And I've gotten to a point right now. This is probably the first time that I've ever really said anything negative about Kenny Omega publicly and officially on record. And I'm probably going to piss off some AEW diehards. But here's the thing. Sorry, not sorry for my opinion. Just as I'm entitled to my opinion, you guys are entitled to your opinion as well. We can have a meeting of the minds. It's all about respect. I respect where you're coming from with your point of view. You respect where I'm coming from with my point of view. But for me, as long as AEW has been in existence, and when I look at the previous AEW champions, their reigns, and I compare them to Kenny Omega, I gotta tell you, Kenny Omega, for me personally, has been the least ineffective world heavyweight champion for promotion. Anytime you got me in a position and I can say, you know what? No matter what people may have thought about Drew McIntyre and his championship reign, I can definitely take a step back and say, damn, Drew's title reign better than Kenny Omega's. I don't know what it is. Hear me out. As far as in the ring goes, Omega's good. And this match with Matt Sydal, really, when you stop and think about it, it reminds you how good of an opponent Omega is inside that ring, depending on his dance partner. Because a lot of times he's got to go in there, and you can kind of tell when it's pretty much Kenny Omega calling all the shots in the match, and it's a case where, there seems to be more of a partnership going on, and that flowed very well against Sydal Wednesday night. But man, this run as AEW champion, ain't been feeling it. I just haven't been feeling it. Don Callis, and that's the fucked up thing. You got Don Callis, who essentially golden tongue, can talk with the best of them. He's doing everything that he can and should be doing. It's a great element. It's a great element. You know, it's like Don Callis, if I were to describe him and the way he's partnered up with Kenny Omega right now, the way I would sum him up, Don Callis is that nice alcoholic beverage that as you're drinking it, you go, wow, damn, that tastes really good. Damn, got a nice little fruity flavor, no aftertaste. Damn, this shit is bomb. And then that buzz creeps up on you. That buzz creeps up on you. And when that buzz creeps up on you, you go, ooh, oh shit, ooh. Ooh, okay, wait a minute, I gotta sit down here. Ooh, this is that good shit. And you're feeling good. You like the vibe you're in right now. You enjoying that buzz. Omega then comes in and he's pretty much what happens if you stop drinking Don Callis. He brings you back down to reality. He fucks up your buzz. You know, maybe he fucks up your buzz by telling you a real sad, fucked up story about how some goddamn dogs died or some stupid shit like that. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. And to the person in the chat saying, where do you send a song submission? We do not play songs. What the hell are you talking about? There's one show we do. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that, but I told you guys it's live. Anything can happen. It's live, pal. Dude, we don't. This ain't the American Bandstand, music video box countdown thing. Read the daggone joke for the show, so you know what the hell you're doing. Man, there's only one show that we do once a year. It's called Slow Jamming with Lee. Happens Valentine's Day night. That's the only fucking show that we do where we play some nice little interesting tunes. But other than that, nope, we don't do nothing else. Anyway, imagine Kenny Omega, though. He's basically fucking up your buzz by telling you a really sad, fucked up story. Right? And he's fucking your buzz all up and all that other shit. That is basically Kenny Omega in a nutshell. He really, really, really fucks it up. And yes, I can see what everybody is saying in the chat, and I am moderating. So it doesn't matter if you're checking out the show via YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. I can see everything. I see everything. I'm the watcher. I see everything. I see the present. I see the future. Even before I got you thinking. Anyway, yeah, but that's how I feel about Kenny Omega right now. For me, I know some of you AEW diehards, you're gonna hear that and you're gonna just take solace in this. I don't hate Kenny Omega. I want to make sure I stress that. I don't hate Kenny Omega. It's just that with regards to his World Heavyweight Championship title reign right now, I feel indifferent. I feel meh. I was excited for Moxley. I was excited for Jericho. You give me any other guy. Hell, the idea of Christian possibly becoming the AEW World Champion, I'm excited for that element. I'd like to see maybe Pac become an AEW World Champion. I'd like to see Hangman Page become an AEW champion. Without a shadow of doubt, MJF is going to be a bona fide, multi-time AEW World Champion. There are a lot of individuals. I could even make a good argument for Scorpio Sky. There are a lot of good talents on that AEW roster, personality-wise. That's the thing. Personality-wise, there is that connection. that I feel, oh yeah, they would be a great fucking AEW World Champion. Kenny Omega is the first AEW World Champion in a good minute here that has just made me feel, to the point, yeah, you know, I respect the hell out of Don Callis and his gift for jabbing, but if Don Callis ain't talking, I'm putting the TV on mute and I'm watching what's going on NXT on my tablet or however I got it set up for that week, because I like to alternate who's on the big screen and who's on the tablet. But that's the point that I've gotten to now. But this match, Gino, what's good with you, brother? What's good with you, man? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Our super chats are open, by the way, for those of you that want to get in a little something, get in a little special word or pick my brain on something specifically or whatever, or just in general, you know, you want to show some love. Super chats are open. But that's how I feel about Omega in a nutshell and everything. But look, the match against Sydal, good shit. Good shit. I'm not shitting on that whatsoever. I enjoyed that one. Omega picking up the dub over Sydal. Boys went about. Boys went about. I would say 12. You know, maybe 13 minutes. Did a really good job, and I feel bringing up the stock level a little bit of Matt Sydal and everything. And I actually didn't mind Don Callis being on commentating. I loved how combative JR, Shivani, and Excalibur were towards Callis. I really had enjoyed the hell out of that. By the way, with regards to the whole Kenny Omega championship reign and everything, I'm going to share with you on Impact Showdown this week where I think things are ultimately going to be going with Kenny Omega's title reign. And you may be surprised at what I have to say in regards to that. Second matchup of the evening, Hangman Adam Page taking on Caesar Bonani. I mean, they were hyping this up all on social media, man. I mean, just a lot of hype, and you're going, oh, okay, well, this should be pretty good. This guy's pretty big. He's pretty built. You know, he ain't no Brian Cage or anything like that, but okay. Well, this should be a nice little challenge for the Hangman, right? This should be solid. How can you rate this match? Because the match was like 90 fucking seconds. Hangman Page going over this guy. I mean, it was almost essentially a squash match because Hangman beat this dude with such ease. I just didn't get that. I didn't get that whatsoever. Very awkward, very weird. It was what it was. You're like, okay, moving right along. What else we got? Lance Archer had cut a little promo about Sting. All right, so the continuation there of Archer, Sting. I'm actually looking forward to that. Tony Schiavone gets a little bit of talk time with Britt Baker. And that for me was one of the highlights of the night. Seeing Britt Baker, you know, following up on that great match she had last week with Thunder Rosa. And she's like, wait a minute, you know, you guys, that's the reaction that you give me after the match I gave you guys last week. This is how you welcome me. I loved it. I also loved her taking those little digs there at the hardcore legend Mick Foley. What was that line she said? She's like, hey, you know, Mick Foley gave me the thumbs up. He loved my match. She's like, yeah, you know, well, not for nothing, Mick, but it took you 20 years to become hardcore, and I was able to do it in one night. Yeah, of course, Mick Foley in kayfabe, of course, he's going to respond to that. And he goes on social media talking about how he's a little bit stunned by Baker's comments. And now all of a sudden you got all the dirt sheets running that as their major headline for their site for the clickbait and all that. It's like, whatever, man, whatever. If you guys can't recognize that, you know, he's just furthering that. He's just, that's on you. Whatever. It is what it is. But that was a nice little spot there with the DMD. Backstage, Christian was chatting it up with the Varsity Blondes. Kazarian comes up to him and welcomes him and wonders, yo, you know, your shirt outwork everyone, however the fuck his shirt goes. Like, when you gonna put that to task? You know, you've been here a couple of weeks now, you ain't done nothing yet. So challenge was sent. Christian Cage accepted. Next week on Dynamite is going to be Christian Cage taking on Frankie Kazarian. Also, you may want to check out AEW Dark Elevation for next week, as Kazarian is going to be in action, and he told Christian, hey, you may want to go ahead and pop up, because yeah, it was funny actually how Kazarian brought that up too. He said, hey Christian, before I go, let me ask you something. What are you doing on Monday nights? Are you busy on Monday nights? Oh, that's right, you're free now on Monday nights. Well, come stop by and check me out, because I'm going to be in action. I mean, after all, it's been 7 years since you last wrestled. I'm sure you got a lot of rust. So, nice. I'm looking forward to when those two boys lock it up. That should actually be a pretty damn good matchup. Third matchup of the evening, FTR and Shawn Spears taking on the Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin. Really don't like when we, I wish wrestling promotions would stop doing this one thing in particular. It's really, really irritating, and I wish it would stop. If you have a match that is going to be under 10 minutes, I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever to do picture in picture. Think about that for a second. You're pretty much getting about 2 minutes, maybe about 2 minutes, 25 seconds, give or take, 3 minutes if you're lucky. You're getting there of a match, and then they decide they want to go into picture in picture. And then essentially when they come back, I mean, think about that. You're looking at about 2 minutes worth of commercials, maybe up to 3. And then by the time they come back from the picture in picture / commercial break, there's about maybe 2 to 3 more minutes of the full screen match, and then the match is over. So when you got a match in this case like this tag match, and it's only running about 7 minutes, and you're doing the picture in picture, and by the time you come back and everything, it's like, don't do that. Just go on ahead, just show the damn thing in its entirety. Honestly, I think what would probably make a little bit more sense, why don't some of these shows just pull a audible like what we see on the morning shows? I don't know if you guys watch ESPN or FS1, but they got nice little cool third banner graphics that'll pop up sometimes while you're watching the show. I wish that they would just run their little ads like that. You're still fulfilling your advertising needs to your client and everything. At least do it like that. Then when the match is over, you can just pretty much, okay, now we're going to go ahead and do picture in picture right now. And I think, in the case of AEW, they haven't done it in a good minute. But I think one of the ways that AEW can kind of find that nice balance of, not really fucking with a match and making people watch a little tiny little box to see the in-ring action, instead they could just, hey folks, we're getting ready to go picture in picture, but keep watching because you're going to see some exclusive stuff. As a matter of fact, I got a really groovy idea, actually. One thing that they could do, I know in the past they were giving away AEW gift cards to go on their AEW shop and things of that nature. What would be really cool is if you hear Shivani and them, hey folks, we're getting ready to go into a picture in picture, but this is your time right now where, pay attention to what you see in that picture in picture, because somewhere there's going to be a code that we're going to give you, and, take that code and you can possibly get blah, 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 right? You insert whatever. But I think what would be really fucking cool is if they could maybe just, sometimes they could maybe have a fan, obviously one of the AEW talents, hold up a sign with the code. Or maybe they could have introductions for the next match that's happening. You remember how Sammy Guevara used to do it when he would come out and he would have the signs and he would just do that bullshit? Okay, well, Sammy Guevara reveals a code, or maybe they go over to the announcers table and, JR and them, they're looking, they're waving and everything, and one of them puts up a code or whatever. I think it would just be kind of cool if they kind of where they kind of did some nice little spot the code, like a Where's Waldo, kind of like spot the code or some shit like that. That'd be kind of cool. Pinnacle though, they defeated the Varsity Blondes. After the match, Wardlow beating the holy crap out of Pillman. A little botchy there, little botchy. It was definitely a little sloppy. I gotta tell you, it was definitely sloppy. Wardlow having his way with them. Cash grabs the mic and they start talking about Pinnacle, the name of it. It's not just a name. It's not just a group. It's a family. So they're putting that over and everything. Nice little spot right there. MJF has a message for Chris Jericho. He figured that he'd be back by now, bringing the walls down or breaking the walls down, but instead he's breaking whatever chair he decides to sit on. And he officially issued a challenge to the Inner Circle to come out right then and there on the spot. Shivani's like, that those guys aren't even here right now. Those guys are still injured. And MJF just gives this mean mugging look to Shivani and starts slapping him in the face a little bit, wondering where all that bass is coming from and everything. And Shivani shuts up real quick. MJF talks about how he has a special gift for next week. All right, so we're setting up Dynamite for next week. Okay, cool. Nice way to set it up. He is kind of cryptic here. He says it's for all the future gold they will hold, because when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. All right, so it looks like their quest for gold is... Yeah, now that I kind of take a step and I think about this a little bit more, we got a couple of stables. A lot of stables running around there, man. Got little Matt Hardy's entourage. We got the Dark Order running around, and now we got the Pinnacle that's running around. A whole lot of factions running around right now. Even to a certain degree, the Elite. A lot of factions that's running around. Probably one of the most awkward moments of the night, not the top one, but definitely an awkward moment, was seeing QT Marshall requesting talk time. You're looking at this, you're going, okay, seriously, what's this all about? And basically this was about QT Marshall pushing the narrative of, hey, it sucks sometimes because I know I'm a talented wrestler, but everybody just sees me as Cody's friend. And he's just pretty much going on and on and on about this. So Cody comes out and he says, you know what? Well, look, maybe next week we could have ourselves a little exhibition match to prove to the entire world that, what you say is correct or whatever. Because QT Marshall actually was the one that issued this challenge to Cody. I don't know if a heel turn is coming or what, because it was one of the most awkwardest exchanges I've ever seen in my entire life. And let me explain to you the reason why. You're feeling where QT Marshall is coming from and, wanting a bigger spotlight, wanting more opportunities in singles matches and all that. But then Cody comes out and you see his arm is in a sling. And, what I thought was so weird about that, I thought it was rather weird that QT Marshall not once said, hey, look, Cody, I know you're not at 100%, with the arm and all. I know you're not. But, man, I'm getting so frustrated with how I'm being utilized right now. I'm more than just your friend. I'm more than just an aide to you whenever you need help. I'm more than just an errand boy. I would have preferred it if it really, if somebody is really bothering you like that and all you want is an opportunity, you're going to be pretty passionate. You're going to come off pretty irritated. You're going to come off pretty pissed off. A lot of what QT Marshall was saying, it just came off very hollow. That's it. It came off very hollow. But then Cody coming out there and, ultimately agreeing to this exhibition, not even acknowledging his arm. And just the awkwardness in the exchange that Cody was having with QT Marshall. Cody was fumbling with his words there. He was really searching. This was one of those rare moments where I'm going, this isn't a really good Cody promo, and which is really, really odd for me, because normally when it comes to, Cody's going to be on the card tonight, well, what's Cody doing? Oh, he's going to talk about what? Or, Cody's going to face who? Normally, Cody shit, it seems like there's a lot of time, there's a lot of preparation that's put into his joints. His joints, say what you will about Cody, say what you will about AEW. The one thing that there's no denying is that normally when it comes to a Cody match or any segment that involves Cody, the quality, you can usually just go, okay, I ain't got to worry about this, because if Cody's involved, it's going to be okay. It's going to be solid. It's going to be decent. Very, very awkward. Very, very awkward. And I was just lost over the whole talk of Cody saying, if I apply the crossroads, I'm not going to do it. If I put you in that figure 4, I'm not going to put the full torque. I was just a little bit lost on all of that. So, 2 cents from a distance, just the fact that whole arm was not acknowledged. I don't know. I kind of get this vibe that maybe QT Marshall is going to go heel on Cody's ass. We'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, apparently, just nonchalant, just next week. Apparently these two are supposed to lock it up next week. Whatever. Anyway, Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid taking on the Young Bucks, Brandon Cutler. Okay. Yeah, this was actually a pretty good tag match. I actually had enjoyed this one. Lucha Brothers going over. Had a nice little indie vibe to it. I enjoyed that one. It was pretty good. Kenny Omega coming out of nowhere post-match, attacking the Laredo Kid. Don Callis hands Omega the mic. Omega's pretty much rehashing what went down in 2019. Talking about Laredo from AAA and everything. Eventually, he turns his attention to the Bucks and he's rehashing what he had said to them last week. He wants them to throw up that too sweet sign. He's like, you're going to throw away 12 years of friendship or whatever. Like, you're going to throw that away over, like, this is the time. Either you're with me now or you're going to be against me from this moment going into the future. And the Bucks, they just were not having anything to do with it. They ain't want nothing to do with Omega. They pretty much tried to make their exit. And Bucks walked out yet again. Ray, Penta, Laredo, they get in there and they just start beating the holy crap out of Omega. Super kicks to Omega and all. Laredo grabs Omega, talking some mad crap to him, then rolls out. By the time these guys were able to do what they needed to do, getting their little shit in, then you see the Good Brothers come out, but damage was already done. Here's an interesting development that came on Dynamite. An announcement was made that apparently Cody and Brandy are going to be getting their own reality TV series. And I'm watching this and I'm going, okay, so basically Ms. and Mrs., but it's not Ms. and Mrs. Okay. And this is going to be on TNT apparently. This ain't going to be on YouTube. This ain't going to be on the AEW.com website or whatever. No. This is actually supposed to be premiering on TNT. So where is your strong lead-in going to come in? How are you going to set this up? We don't even have a official start date, if I'm not mistaken, on when the show is going to be happening. But I can't help but wonder, okay, so what exactly is going to be your strong lead-in here? are you going to have this show come on after Dynamite is over? Because, I mean, honestly, it would make a lot of sense if that's how you did it. Because think about it for a second. Think about it for a second. Think about it for a second. If you were to have this show premiere Wednesday nights, you may be able to have a nice, good overrun of an audience checking it out after Dynamite is said and done. So, you know, it's a good shot. Otherwise, I think your next best thing, that would be too late. I was thinking maybe you could have it come on after Inside the NBA, but they typically come on at 1, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning. That really would not be helping that show out. That really would not be giving it all the success that it could possibly get. So that actually would not be a good idea. So maybe Wednesday night is you can't do Tuesday night because there's basketball on Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, basketball is on. So unless you're gonna do it, or do you make it a weekend thing? Like, you know, one thing I think we can all kind of take a little bit of comfort in, for those of us that are really hoping that this show goes off without a hitch and it's truly successful, I think it would make all the sense in the world to have this series premiere during the summer. That way, specifically when the NBA playoffs, everything's done for the basketball season. That makes a lot more sense to do. So, you know, we'll see. But I mean, just hearing that Cody and Brandy are going to be having this show, I mean, I can't help but wonder, is their profiles really that significant? Is their profiles really that high enough that they can command a show on TNT and that the ratings will, I mean, that's pretty ballsy. That's pretty ballsy. That is really, really ballsy. And to Chris in the chat, let me make sure that I set the record perfectly clear. I'm not saying that the show is stupid. It's a stupid idea. I'm not saying. What I am ultimately concerned about right now. I am concerned about viewership. I am concerned about ratings. You know, just as you think the show is a good idea. Hell, I could say to you, hey, watching. Let me go with somebody I really, really fuck with. Hey, my favorite indie pro wrestler, Casey Carlisle, always going to, she doesn't do this, but always going to different bars and trying out new drinks. That would be a really great series on Fox. Yeah, you know, that would be a nice idea, sure, but is it going to draw viewership? Is it going to draw ratings? That's what ultimately matters the most. What I question right now is, does Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes, do they really command enough popularity stock to even be in a position where they can have a show on a major network in prime time? Keep in mind, folks, that really doesn't, it's not going to cover wrestling. There ain't going to be no wrestling matches. This is literally going to be Miz and Mrs. 2.0 and then some. That's where it's really, really tricky right now, you know? And not for nothing, but when you look at Miz and Mrs. and when you look at their viewership numbers and all of that, look at this. Look at this right here. I'm just going to read to you guys some of the numbers that they're doing here. Now look at this. They're doing 1.47 million viewers, 1.30 million viewers, 1.23, 1.16, 1.24, 1.16, 1.0, 1.0, 1.10, 94, 84, 90, 110. Yeah, that's all for the first season. You look at this last season that got wrapped up. They're doing now 0.43, 0.47, 0.46, 0.50, 0.39, 0.49, 0.61, 0.45, 0.66, 0.41, 0.38, 0.50, 0.44, 0.55. And there's no telling what's going to happen once the third season premieres. If that's going to be a continuing downward trend. I'm sure that first season there's going to be a lot of curiosity for folks, but I'm suggesting that if TNT execs and AEW execs really want that show to be successful, they need to put it in the best position possible where it can succeed. And the key to that, you got to have a strong lead in. It makes no sense whatsoever. Trust me, I know, because I watch TNT all the time. The last thing you want to do is have a show that's premiering during NBA playoffs. That's the last thing that you want to do. That's bad. That's bad. You want to pretty much, especially on TNT, you want to have that show premiere after your playoffs is all said and done with. Hell, you could do it in a way where if the games that TNT has during their playoff schedule, if it's ending early, and by early I mean if it's ending 9, 10 o'clock, and the Inside Boys aren't going to be doing a post show. Okay, there's your nice strong lead in right there. But they got to do a lead in. That's going to be the key. That's going to be the key. I wish them well. I really do. I'll watch the first episode just to get an idea about it and everything, but it's not something I'm going to be finding myself watching on a weekly basis. And that's the honest truth. I'm keeping it real with you guys. Moving along. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. Moxley, Eddie Kingston, talking about putting people in the morgue. Moxley asks the Good Brothers just how far they're willing to take this feud that's going on, asking if they're willing to put their blood, sweat, everything on the line. So we see where, this is pretty much leading to a nice little promo spot there as they were backstage doing their thing. Match 5, Nyla Rose taking on Tay Conti of the Dark Order. Tay Conti picking up the dub. I actually had enjoyed this match, and I tell you what was really surprising about this match. The fact that Tay Conti went over. I was very, very surprised at that. I thought for sure, no brainer, Nyla's got this. And AEW just threw a goddamn curveball at us. It was a holy shit. I'm telling you, it was a holy shit. It was a good match. Very competitive. Yeah, it didn't come off as a squash match. That's the best part that I loved about this, because I was expecting a squash match as well. And that's not what happened. Commentating was pretty good on this one. Probably the only thing that kind of made me go, where was -1? I've been so used to seeing -1 hanging out with Tay Conti. The one time I was, looking forward to seeing the little guy at the ring, and he wasn't there. As Tay Conti is celebrating, Vicky Guerrero is grabbing on her leg and pretty much sets up Nyla Rose to attack her. And then Sheeta comes out. Sheeta comes in with a kendo stick, and she takes it to the back of Nyla Rose as Nyla looked as though she was getting ready to do the beast bomb on Tay Conti. So she manages to stop it. Nyla Rose did a really good job selling the hell out of that kendo strike too. But then the bunny, out of nowhere, bunny comes from behind, takes out Sheeta, grabs the kendo stick, beats the holy living hell out of Sheeta with it. You then have Matt Hardy, Butcher, the Blade. They come out. You're like, what the hell is going on here? Matt Hardy grabs a mic and he says that the women Eliminator title tournament that happened a couple of weeks ago was a sham. It was a fugazi because Bunny was not in it. He goes on to say that his clients have been overlooked and that stops now. This was just, there's a little bit of stupid booking 101 in this, and I'm explaining to you the reason why. Stupid booking 101 because, well, wait a minute, man. That was like a couple of weeks ago, and not for nothing, but we've seen Tay Conti on AEW Dark. We've seen her on Dark Elevation, and Matt Hardy, if you're frustrated and overlooked, like, where were you to extract your revenge then? This just felt so random. It did not feel natural whatsoever. You had a really good match between Nyla Rose, Tay Conti, and the finish was just very shocking. There was a somewhat of a missed opportunity here to really put the spotlight more on Tay Conti and let her ride into next week and maybe ultimately set up a rematch with Nyla Rose to prove, that was just beginner's luck or some stupid shit like that. I just felt that with that nice little upset, it got quickly overlooked. It got overshadowed there. Weird booking right there. Just weird booking right there with that. Scorpio Sky pimping things out with his AEW little promo. Nice little promo he was putting there. Apparently he's going to be doing some stuff on Elevation next week, so that should be pretty good. And we got our last matchup of the night, the TNT Championship, Darby Allin taking on John Silver. Awesome match. Somewhat of an odd finish. But pretty good. Pretty good. I can't quite get into John Silver. I got to be honest with you. Too comical for me. I see this guy, he's got these nice arms. I think the transformation that he's done for himself and everything, I think he's done a phenomenal job. But I don't know, he just comes off a little bit too comical for me a lot of times. Looks a little too comical. But it was nice to kind of see it dial back just a little bit when he was taking on Darby Allin. So I did actually appreciate that. I'm a little bit on the fence when it comes to this matchup because find the right words here. I'm gonna shoot from the hip. Darby Allin is, when I think of Darby Allin, I don't think wrestling. When I think of Darby Allin, I think of fights. I think of carnage. I think of anarchy. I think of, let's get crazy, let's get nuts. The last thing that I think about is Darby Allin, pure in-ring wrestler. That's the last thing that I think about. So for me, it was kind of odd just watching him in there having a wrestling match. It was actually kind of odd. And I'm just waiting for, okay, when are we going to see some weird shit go down here? Like when is there going to be some stupid shit that's going to go down? And we did get the stupid shit. We did get the shenanigans. But it was post-match. And that's something that that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So look, post-match, Darby Allin, he retains the title and everything. Sting's there at ringside because, he wanted to get a front row view of everything that was going on and everything with this match. And Darby Allin, gives John Silver props. So does Sting. But then you got Matt Hardy out of nowhere. He's pulling Darby. Dark Order is attacking. Then you got Private Party out there. They're attacking. Out comes Tay. Bunny is out there as well. I mean, Darby flies out of the ring, crashes onto Matt Hardy, and that's pretty much how the show ends. It ends with this big old, comes off like a fucking Benny Hill joint. And that was just, I just kind of looked at that as a disorganized clusterfuck. I really, really did, because for me, again, just considering what I had said about Darby Allin there, for me, it would have made more sense if you got Matt Hardy saying, hey, we're not going to be overlooked. We're not going to be overshadowed anymore. Blah this, blah that. Then I think what really would have been more interesting. First of all, Matt Hardy, Private Party, Butcher, Blade, Bunny. They got no business being out there in that. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Because if anybody should have been out there, it should have been the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer. Lance Archer has this built-in upcoming feud that's going on with Sting. So it would have made all the sense in the world. If anybody was going to, interfere or whatever, there should have been some type of a cameo by Lance Archer, Jake Roberts. But that's not what happened. And what was even more awkward about that segment was watching Sting in the middle of the ring, and it almost looked as though Sting had this look on his face like, okay, so who's supposed to be coming at me? And I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe it's going to be Sting and, I don't know, Matt Hardy. That'd be kind of interesting there. Yeah, Matt Hardy and Sting. Maybe that. Sting never did get anybody. So, yeah, I tell you what would have been the perfect fucking scenario there. If you weren't going to go let's just go with Lance Archer. Lance Archer only. If you weren't going to go that route, then I think the way you definitely should have ended it, if you're going to have Matt Hardy and all those other guys out there, then you definitely should have had Lance Archer, Jake Roberts out there and kind of bring up what the hell is going on here? Does Matt Hardy have an arrangement with Lance Archer and Jake Roberts as well? What the hell is going on here? Just a big old clusterfuck. Just a big old clusterfuck. I wasn't really feeling that. Other than that, way too much Matt Hardy tonight. It was way too much. Or last night. It was way too much Matt Hardy there. Other than that, okay episode of Dynamite here and there. Match quality of the night. Allen and Silver, I'll definitely give them their props. Nyla and Tay Conti, that was definitely a pretty good matchup. I actually enjoyed the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid taking on Young Bucks, Brandon Cutler. That actually was pretty good as well. And you know what? Omega versus Seidel was actually pretty good too. Match quality wise, AEW, they did pretty good. It was actually a pretty good show. How are we doing on Showtime so far? We doing pretty good? Let's see where we are now. Oh yeah, we're very good. About an hour into the show. That's pretty good. Hey, if you guys are enjoying the show so far, you're having a nice good time, do me a huge favor. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, you hit that like, click that subscribe, click on that bell, check your notifications there. That way you don't miss all the content that comes your way on a weekly basis. Let's get into some Patreon shoutouts, and then we'll definitely talk some NXT. We'll get into the ratings, what I think my predictions are going to be for the ratings this week, and we'll definitely talk some NWA Powerrr and a little bit more stuff. We got plenty of showtime left. I think when it's all said and done, we might do pretty good. I think we might be able to get out of here maybe by 7, maybe a couple of minutes after 7 is when we'll pretty much be out of here. So that's actually pretty good. Patreon.com/RCWR Show. That's where you can check out bonus audio video content won't be able to find anywhere else. Shout out to our Patreon members, Anthony DeBlasi, Don Tony. Shout out to you, my friend. Looking forward to the AMA later tonight. Shout out to Justin Ripstock. Shout out to Gino Morgan. Shout out to Freddie. Shout out to Michael Wolf. Shout out to J.D. Davis. Shout out to Tony Bean Gaming, one of the very latest in all things Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel's Avengers by Square Enix. For your tips, tricks, news, walkthroughs, and reviews, check him out, Tony Bean Gaming. He's on YouTube. He's got a Patreon paywall as well. Same handle. Shout out to my good friend over at Wishful Walking Videos. They're on YouTube. Make sure you show them some love. Check them out. NXT, okay episode. You know, flowed rather good. Flowed rather good, I would say. Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez taking on Io Shirai. Zoe Stark was your opener. Good way to start the show. Excellent quality of a tag team matchup. Loved it. I'm just continuing to love the team of Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Gonzalez particularly, just every single week, continuing to potentially look like $1 million. I mean, she's going to be tearing it up whenever she goes to the main roster, man. I'll tell you that straight up. Bronson Reed defeated LA Knight. Decent match, but, I'm not going to go with the word bury or burial, but LA Knight losing in his in-ring debut on NXT. That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I gotta be honest with you. I just looked at that and I'm like, man, all the potential that this guy has, and we have him lose in his, now I'm not gonna be throwing a temper tantrum like some people, but I gotta tell you, that does make me take a step back. And for me, and I think I speak for all wrestling fans when I say, when we see somebody coming into a promotion, the way it's been bestowed upon us fans for decades now is, okay, new wrestler comes in, they build up a couple of dubs, and then ultimately they take on a new tier of talent on the roster. They get the little introduction there of a little feud going on, and you build them up. And for me, this was just one of those, okay, so this is how we're kicking it off officially with LA Knight. All right, you got me very curious to see where are we going from here. That's all I got to say. That's all I got. That is all I got. He did good, LA Knight. He did good in there. I mean, Bronson Reed had flowed very well and everything, but that finish just left me kind of raising an eyebrow, wondering what's going on there. Solid matchup between Karrion Kross and Oni Lorcan. Good, brawling, hard hitting, in your fucking face action right here. Love these two fucking guys. Good job right here. Oni Lorcan's continuing to win me over, man. Love that fucking dude. Post match, Kross addressing Finn Balor's actions from last week. Made him realize he was giving respect to a man who honestly he felt doesn't deserve it. Yeah, Finn Balor's a champion and everything, but when he felt his neck, as far as Karrion Kross was concerned, he just felt like every single other mortal man that he's had his hand around. So it's nice little promo right there. Balor comes out. And I loved how when Balor comes out, Karrion Kross pretty much just demolished the hell out of Oni Lorcan. So, I mean, Oni Lorcan's corpse is just over by the stage ramp on the outside. You got Finn Balor that comes out, and he's literally cutting his promo over Oni Lorcan. It's just the hilarious fucking shit. I'm going, can we please just cut to Karrion Kross or do like an upper shot of Balor so fucking Oni Lorcan can just get out of there already? I just felt bad that he had to be laid out that entire time that Balor was talking and everything. Balor, here's the thing. I know that they were trying to sell the hell out of this upcoming match between these two guys at Stand and Deliver. That's what he said to the hooker upon giving her the money. Stand and Deliver. Anyway. But, for Finn Balor, in storyline, to tell Karrion Kross, look, this is your weakness, and this is how I'm going to take advantage. You're going, okay, either you're ballsy, you're that cocky that you're going to retain that title, or you were just letting shit out there, and however it's stuck, it's stuck. I just looked at that and I went, wow, that's a hell of a promo. So like, if you missed it, Finn basically told Karrion that the weakness for Karrion Kross is that he operates with emotion. And Balor pretty much promised him at TakeOver he's going to push all the right buttons to make Karrion Kross react with emotion. And when he does, he's going to get him. And that's pretty much how he's going to retain. So it's kind of like, okay, so this motherfucker has already put the game plan out there. It's like, either he's that cocky and all that other shit, or, right? So you kind of looking at that, you go, I wouldn't exactly announce the game plan just yet. Just go there and fucking do it, dog. So, nah, you know what Karrion Kross reminds me of? I mean, we could say Karrion Kross is essentially the Thanos of NXT. We could maybe make that argument to a certain degree. Or if you've been reading that new Thor series, you could call him the Black Winter. You could go there as well. But that's a badass name, too, for a villain. The Black Winter. I love that. I love that. I remember there was, for the longest time, for many years, I had retired it, but... And I mainly retired it because I just felt I was getting older, and I didn't need the nicknames anymore, basically. But I remember for years I used to call myself the Black Avenger. And once in a while there would be a dickhead that would pop in and oh, you gotta give yourself a nickname and all that other shit. And my favorite ones were from the knuckleheads that would come in and they would say, "My brother, why does everything have to always be about race? Why you gotta call yourself the Black Avenger? Why you gotta call yourself the Black Azrael? See, that's just already what you're doing right there is acknowledging to society the color and the content of your skin." And I mean, I would just get all like this, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, I called myself the Black Azrael because when I was knee deep in the comics back as a teenager, one of my favorite story arcs was the Batman Nightfall joint that had saw ultimately Azrael become the new Batman. And I just fucking loved it. I thought it was fucking badass. I thought that name was fucking cool. And thus that's how Black Azrael had nothing to do with race. It just rolled off the fucking tongue. Just like Black Avenger. Come on now. You already know what Avenger ties to, right? So, no brainer right there. If you know your comics, pulp culture, all that good shit. and so that I didn't retire those names because I was getting comments like that. I just retired those names because I felt I was getting a bit older, and it was like, we can dial that back. We're good now. I mean, come on, to be 40, still, running around and like, I'm good. Let's retire those. Now I do have those names reserved for my kid, when I'm blessed to have one, and that'll be their nice little nicknames if they want it. First of all, that's even if they're gonna be into that type of stuff that I was into from back in the day. But yeah, I don't know how we got on that topic, by the way. Oh, because I was talking about how Karrion Kross, yeah, he's kind of like the Thanos of the NXT, so to speak. Yeah, that's what that was about. Anyway, Drake Maverick was demolished by Walter. 25 seconds. Poor little guy. Anyway, Tommaso Ciampa, he comes out next and pretty much challenges him for a match at TakeOver. So Walter accepted. So it's going to be Walter, Tommaso Ciampa. They're going to be facing each other at TakeOver. That should be a damn good. That's going to be the sleeper hit of the night. It's going to be the sleeper hit of the night. Pete Dunne was cutting a promo backstage saying nobody stepped up to the challenge of facing him, the best technician in the world, putting himself over next week as he feels he's going to go win the North American title. We see some footage from earlier in the day where Robert Stone was paying Mercedes Martinez to be Aaliyah's partner against Amber Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. She accepted, but demanded more money after the match. Johnny Gargano, meanwhile, he's barging into William Regal's office to complain about the Gauntlet Eliminator gimmick. He feels that it's unfair because he deserves more time to prepare for his opponent. Regal says that if he's Johnny Takeover, shouldn't be a problem. He should be able to rise to the occasion, as always. NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. Amber Moon, Shotzi Blackheart defending against Aaliyah, Mercedes Martinez. This was basically a one-sided match, and that's despite the fact that Mercedes Martinez was involved in this match. I mean, you hear these names, you stop and think about it for a second. You hear these names, Amber Moon, Shotzi Blackheart, Mercedes Martinez, like, all right, this should be fucking, but it didn't rise to the occasion as far as I was concerned. Yeah, it did not. And maybe you could make the argument a large part of that problem was because the match length was extremely short. We're talking about barely 4 minutes, if you're lucky, of a match. Not good. Not good. Now, Aaliyah, I will say, Aaliyah, she's been coming around. I've really been enjoying her work. She's getting better and better. I was very impressed for the little bit that I saw in that brief window. She's been coming along, so I'll definitely give her a lot of props. But man, what a teaser of a match. Tack on about 8 more minutes. I would have been all right. Amber Moon, Shotzi Blackheart picking up the dub. Let's see. Jordan Delvin defeated Kushida. Solid match for the most part. A couple of hiccups here and there, but Devlin, Kushida, they seem to click pretty good against each other. Post-match, Wild and Mendoza, they were out there with Escobar as well, as they all were pretty much checking everything out at ringside during the matchup. Kushida did a dive outside the ring, taking out Wild and Mendoza, while Escobar entered the ring to face off against Devlin. Surprisingly, we get the music for Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels letting that hair grow. I want to know what's going on under that hat, man. What's going on? He got some plugs now. He's got the Rogaine. I want to know what's going on, man. What's the secret, my brother? I'm losing mine. I don't mind it, but if I could turn back time for a hot little bit, it's all good. I haven't had my hair grow out in a couple of years. I was gonna let my hair grow out for the wedding, but the missus was like, no, you're good. If anything, don't shave your beard. I'm like, I can't shave my beard. I wanted to shave everything for the wedding, and she's like, no. She's like, if you want to shave after the wedding, that's fine. She's like, I like the beard. I'm like, okay, all right. It's like, all right, no problem. Shawn Michaels music hits though. What the hell is Shawn Michaels doing now? Shawn Michaels doesn't say anything. He looks at both guys. He's smiling at them. He simply goes under the ring, pulls out a ladder, props it up against the apron, looks at both guys smiling, walks away. Both guys get the hint, and they're pretty much like, yeah, that's what we're going to do at TakeOver. So it's pretty much at TakeOver, stand and deliver. It's pretty much going to be ladder match there between those two guys. Should be good. They should definitely rise to the occasion. That should be good. Main attraction of the night was the contract signing between Cole and O'Reilly. That went off pretty good. Nice little heated exchange between the two. Pretty much doing a little bit of a rehash, a little bit of a recap, if you will, to how we got to that point with them doing the contract signing and everything. I would say Cole really carried the hell out of that segment. Khali started off kind of cold, but then started warming up towards the end. He was starting to find his stride there. I will definitely admit that. But it ended nice and hot. That's how you do it. Nice little fight, security breaking out. That's how you want to do it. There was some WWE.com exclusive footage, and apparently Adam Cole decked the shit out of William Regal. It's fucking hilarious, man. Fucking hilarious. Now you got people saying, well, William Regal versus Adam Cole, book it, Dano. And then you got other people saying, no, Adam Cole versus HBK. Like, book it. Like, but it was good. Nice little NXT that they did for this week. Nice little solid show. Everything seemed to flow. Matches of the night though. Let's see. Devlin and Kushida, even though I had a couple of hiccups here and there, I definitely would say those two. Cross and Oni Lorcan would be another. Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez taking on Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. I would say those were, but quality-wise, they did pretty good. They did pretty good. Now, let's talk ratings. Again, I have not looked at the ratings yet. I've got a link ready to go as somebody had hooked me up with it earlier. So let's see what we got. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to pull up the ratings for last week. And hopefully I can actually pull this up. And bear with me, guys. Oh, yeah, I actually got them. Okay, so I see for last week, AEW did 768,000. NXT did 597,000. All right, so let me bust out pen and paper here. I'm gonna say AEW wins again. And let's bust this out. I'm gonna say AEW wins again, and I'm gonna say AEW. I'm going to say AEW 789,210. NXT, I'm going to say 632,075. So again, for this week, I'm going to say AEW wins. I'm going to say 789,210. NXT I'm going to say 632,075. All right, so let's see what the official numbers are now. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so Showbuzz has the overnight ratings for this week's Dynamite. Right. Where we at here? Dynamite overnight audience fell slightly this week by 11,000 viewers. Last night's episode drew an average audience of 757,000 viewers. Oh, so fucking close. So fucking close. So the official number is 757,000. And I said 789,210. Okay, and what did NXT do? Okay, here we go. NXT managed to climb back up over 600,000 viewers after last night's show fell below the mark. The USA Network broadcast finished with 678,000 viewers, increasing from last week's 597,000 viewers. Okay, that's not bad. I did pretty good. All right, so again, I predicted AEW 789,210 viewers. The official number 757,000. NXT, I predicted 632,075. The official number 678,000. That's pretty good. Let's see. What else we got here? 1849 key demo. AEW managed to climb back up in the ratings. This week's episode finished with a 0.30 rating, which is up from last week's 0.28 in the same key demo. Okay. They managed to more than double the rating for NXT in the same demographic this week, which was 0.14. NXT's rating slightly went up from 0.13 rating March 17th. Okay. Nice. That's pretty good. That's good. AEW kept its number 6 spot for this week for the cable top 150 rankings. Meanwhile, NXT placed number 29 after falling to number 42 last week. MTV's The Challenge Double Agents topped the ratings for Wednesday night with a 0.56 in the key demo. Tucker Carlson Tonight on Fox News topped the viewership for the evening with 3.138 million viewers. So not too shabby of ratings. Doing pretty good. All right, nice to see that both shows actually went up this week. That's good. All right. And again, you guys get into wrestling or non-wrestling related questions, something that you know I'm not going to be covering on the show that you want me to tackle. And if you're new, usually what we do on Wednesday nights when the show normally airs, once the shows have finished airing, I usually dedicate a segment where I talk about ratings. I talk about who I think is going to top. And longtime listeners will tell you that when it comes to me predicting the ratings, it's pretty eerie. So if you kind of notice, I don't really look in the chat. I know some of you guys are like, oh, well, they had... I don't need to know that. There's a reason why I do what I do. You know, I want to try to have it be as transparent as possible. But normally Wednesday nights, we always talk about ratings. I give you guys my predictions. And if you're following me on social media, I usually let you guys know, okay, this is what I said on the show last night. Here's the timestamp. Check it out. You know, that way nobody can try to say, there's some bullshit that's going on there or some stupid little shit like that. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. We got a little bit more showtime left. We're doing pretty good so far. We're definitely going to be done way before 7:30 at this point. So apparently, according to Dave Meltzer and PW Insider, They were asked about Aleister Black's status in the company. Apparently, they noted that he was seen at the WWE Performance Center for the last several weeks. They're saying that apparently it's possible he may be dealing with some type of minor injury, supposedly. What exactly is going on with the injury? Like, nobody really knows or whatever, but there's just a whole lot of speculation that's in the air right now. So I would say to you guys, just take what you're hearing about Aleister Black right now with a grain of salt, and just, that's all it is. Just take it with a grain of salt. Also, Thunder Rosa, apparently she's been forced to withdraw from a wrestling match against Kylie Rae. I'm not sure if you guys had heard about this, but there was a previously announced matchup between Thunder Rosa and Kylie Rae for Warrior Wrestling in June. Well, that is now off. This is according to the good kind folks over at Fightful. Shout out to them. We actually follow each other on social media, so shout out to them. Good people. That match was previously scheduled to take place as part of Warrior Wrestling's Stadium Series, June the 5th in Chicago. However, not going to be happening. Apparently, sources are telling Fightful that Rosa has been pulled from the match due to her obligations with the NWA, which recently returned to TV this month, as you all recall. She's under contract with NWA for the rest of 2021. The report also noted that Rosa is withdrawing from the match. A high level replacement is currently being sought after to replace Kylie Rae. And Kylie Rae is returning from a nice little hiatus after prematurely announcing her retirement last November. So I'm very surprised at the wrestling promotions that are even willing to do business with Kylie Rae there, considering she's been doing this, stop and go. She's with you 1 minute and then all of a sudden she just, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. Let's see. Also, let's talk Kane. Let's talk Great Khali. So look, I see Kane has been announced as the newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2021. You know what? Well deserved. Well deserved for as decorated of a career as Kane has had. When I just hear the word Kane or I hear the name Glenn Jacobs, a legit smile comes to my face and I go, yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Fuck yeah. And I'll tell you this, if you guys have not had an opportunity to see when Undertaker broke the news to Kane this week on the bump, go out of your way and check it out just to see the raw emotion that Kane Glenn Jacobs was having. Beautiful. Just beautiful. To see how much it meant to him. And then of all people, for Undertaker to be the one to deliver the news. Touching moment. Just a touching moment, man. I got no problem with Kane going into the WWE Hall of Fame. You definitely need some marquee names right now, and Kane is definitely a marquee name. So, because Dave Bautista, he's not going in this year. Apparently, he's got some movie commitments and all that, some personal stuff, whatever is going on. But he's already revealed that he's not going to be able to take his rightful place in going into the Hall of Fame class this year. But he pretty much, he revealed that apparently him and WWE, they came to an agreement that he'll be inducted at a later date. And basically, he wants to be able to give a speech. He wants to be able to thank people and all that. So they're going to hold off his induction, and I guess forward it to another year is pretty much how they're going to do it. So I guess essentially you could say he's going to be a main headliner for the next one, because if Batista would have been able to show up to this one, then without a doubt he would have been the main eventer for that. So now, just kind of looking at the landscape of things, it's kind of safe to say that, okay, so Kane is maybe going to be the main attraction of the night. Have to wait and see. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Just saying, you really want to fucking, we'll wait and see. But I got no problem with Kane. And to see what everybody was saying, mostly on social media, it would appear that most people don't have an issue with Kane going into the Hall of Fame. Now, Great Khali going into the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm going to show you guys an image. You probably saw it on the thumbnail throughout social media, but if you missed it, I'll gladly show this to you. I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I feel about Great Khali going into the WWE Hall of Fame. All right, let me see if I can find this here. I'm going to load this image up. Give me a second here. You guys are going to love this. There we go. That's how I feel about Great Khali going into the WWE Hall of Fame. There you go, guys, right there. Here, let me put that dead center. That's exactly how I feel. Wait, Great Khali is going into the WWE Hall of Fame? Yeah, I don't want that. That doesn't work for me. Kane's going it? Nah, that I can work with. I love that. I loves that. Yeah. Look, I don't have anything nice to say about Great Khali. I don't. I'm not going to make this be the bashing hour. I have every right to be. Trust me, if I was the type of podcaster that I was 10 years ago, when I didn't give a fuck, and I would just lace with profanity and just go all balls out stupid back in the day, trust me, I would fucking go there. But I'm going to let some of my friends in the podcasting world have a field day with Great Khali, because they do such a great job. But look, seriously, in all seriousness, where do I begin to even raise an eyebrow, shake my head, and go, in what universe does this make sense, really, of Great Khali going into the WWE Hall of Fame? Is Great Khali going into the WWE Hall of Fame because there's just something about the way he talks, the way he just is able to convince those fans to spend their hard-earned dollars and see him in the ring perform before your very eyes? Surely it's the way that the Great Khali sells the hell out of his matches. Surely it's the way the Great Khali sells the hell out of, you must come. You must order this pay-per-view. You must get a ticket. You must see him live as he faces insert name. Surely he's going in because he's one of the best promo talkers that's out there, that's ever existed. I mean, he's up there with The Rock. He's up there with the immortal Hulk Hogan. He's up there with the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, man, his gift of the gab. I mean, he's right up there with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Make no mistake about it, Great Khali, that motherfucker knows how to talk, man. Hey, you ever heard Great Khali cut a promo? Seriously, you ever heard Great Khali? Oh my God! You have not been a wrestling fan until you have heard Great Khali cut a promo. There's nothing like it. I mean, the way the sweat just drips off of his forehead, and it just kind of does this nice little roly roll under his chin, and then just splish splash down to his chest. He's got these nice thick eyebrows that's just arching. I mean, he's got the McDonald's arches of eyebrows when he's talking. Kind of like a unibrow thing going on too, man. I don't know if rather I should. Sometimes he's got the McDonald's arches going on, and then other times he just got like this flat line. I don't know if I need to be fucking getting ready to do double dutch over his eyebrows, or if I need to tell him I want a #1 value meal and a fucking bottle of water. I don't know. I don't know. But there's something about the way, and then those dark, mysterious eyes. And then, when he licks his lips and he gets ready to cut that promo, and all you can do is just sit back and he's getting ready to talk. Here it comes. We're getting ready to witness one of the magnificent promo speakers of all time, the Great Khali. He's getting ready to lay down some serious logic. He's getting ready to put a lot of people to shame with the promo that he's about to cut. Let's listen in. Chop chop. Oh, Great Khali, that was, oh my God, that was the shit. That was the shit, Great Khali. Or maybe it's not the promos. Maybe it's the way Great Khali commands such presence about him when he comes down to that ring. You ever seen Great Khali when he comes on out? I think it has to be maybe just that, Stone Cold, when he comes out to his music, Stone Cold got that "I'm gonna kick somebody's ass" type of walk, and The Rock comes out. Rock's got that "it's time to electrify." You got Chris Jericho. He's got that bouncy little type of arrogance as he's walking out and everything. Maybe it's the way Great Khali walks. That's one of the reasons why he's going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Maybe he's that. Yeah, I think so. And you just see Great Khali, and he's just, the way he walks, he walks as if he's about to trip at any moment. He walks like he's constipated. Versus he's maybe walking on stills, versus he's walking on some fucking tree branches, and there's just a clumsiness about him when he's walking to the ring. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why Great Khali is going into the ring. Oh my God, let's talk about his great moveset. Kurt Angle, Dynamite Kid, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. These guys got nothing on the Great Khali. Oh no. When it comes to in-ring perfection, when it comes to in-ring prowess, when it comes to mat skills, nobody. And I mean nobody. Cue up Keith Sweat. Nobody. Rush Limbaugh. Nobody does it as good as Great Khali. Is it the way that Great Khali starts a match? He just has that big ass fucking two slabs of ham hocks of a hand in one. Is it the way he just brings that hand ever so high up in the sky, brings it down ever so slowly, and chops the shit out of his opponent? Or is it maybe when Great Khali raises that hand up into the sky yet again, and he does that chop yet again? Or is it maybe when he takes his head and he pretty much uses it as a battering ram, and he bashes his opponent's head with his head? Maybe. Or is it maybe when he does that two-handed fall away slam? Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's the chop. It's got to be the chop. That's why he's going into the WWE Hall of Fame, right? Look, when it's all said and done, all seriousness, I get why he's going into the Hall of Fame. This is basically to please the overseas audience. Us USA, Canadian, UK fans, we're scratching our heads. Fucking Great Khali. That's literally what we're doing right now. But internationally, he's a success. Internationally, he is a global fucking star and all that. Say what you will, but that's the honest truth. So it might not make sense to us, but y'all need to realize, y'all need to understand, this is nothing more than a PR stunt. That's all. That's what it all is. It's just a PR fucking stunt. We all know he's got no business going into the WWE Hall of Fame. We can all be in agreement of that. He's got no business going into it. But it is what it is. The sooner we all realize that, get off our high horses and, try to focus on the talents that are of great quality that's actually going into the Hall of Fame, the more we'll be able to enjoy it. Straight up. We could make lists all night of people that should go into the WWE Hall of Fame. We all could make our own respected lists right now of folks we feel should go into the Hall of Fame. Great Khali would be nowhere on that list. He wouldn't even get an honorable mention. He wouldn't get no fucking crumb whatsoever. We all can be in agreement of that. It is what it is. Oh, by the way, did I get rid of that image? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if I had got rid of that image or not. I was like, damn, if you guys were looking at that Great Khali image the entire time, like, damn. Hey, a couple of more names have been added to WrestleCon. We now have WWE Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. We got former WWE legend Haku. And the current Impact Knockouts champion, Deonna Purrazzo. All of those cats are going to be at WrestleCon down in Tampa Bay, Florida. So, recap, they joined Scott Hall, Gail Kim, Jay White, Brooke Adams, Rick and Scott Steiner, Christian Cage, Enzo and Cass, Al Snow, Layla L, Victoria, Matt Taven, Dean Malenko, Magnum TA, Leo Rush, Lex Luger, Brooke Hogan, Ted DiBiase, Jerry Lawler, Ron Simmons, Arn Anderson, Jake Roberts, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter. So it's really shaping up to be a pretty good WrestleCon. So you guys going to be in the Tampa Bay area, need some stuff to do that WrestleMania weekend. Check that out. AEW is going to be running their first show on April 9th. Their first house show, which is going to take place on the Friday before WrestleMania. Tony Khan announced at the end of AEW Dark Elevation tapings for this week that Dynamite will be back for a live show on April 7th, followed by their first non-televised show on April 9th. The house show will take place at Daly's Place, which is pretty much going to be the site for AEW TV tapings. I see that with regards to the WWE Network, there's a lot of people that are up in arms, whether it's because of some of the navigation problems, you can't pause, you can't rewind, or you're having quality. Give me a second. This is actually important. Bear with me a second here. This is actually important. Well, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, this is business, folks. Hang on a second. Yeah, this is business. See, this plays with money, folks. I can't play around with that. Hang on a second here. Okay. I'm almost done, guys. Hang on. Okay, cool. I'm good, guys. Okay. Yeah. Sign me up. Yep. Can't mess with that, man. When money's knocking, you got to make sure you capitalize. Anyway, but now you got people that are really, really up in arms over the fact that apparently there is some content on Peacock there for WWE Network. Apparently, they've edited the hell out of some stuff from key pay-per-view events, from shows. So take, for instance, when Vince McMahon sees John Cena and, "Hey, what's up, my ninja?" And Booker T, tell me they added that completely out. The infamous WrestleMania joint, Hot Rod Roddy Piper taking on, was it Bad News Brown? And Roddy Piper had the blackface and all that. Yeah, so they pretty much took that out. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people are noticing that, hey, what the hell is going on here? Why is WWE... that's the era that we're in now, man. That's the era that we're in. Look, this should not surprise you guys. It really shouldn't. I know that some of you guys are going to say, well, wait a minute, man. This makes no fucking sense whatsoever, because the WWE has been partnered up with NBC for so many fucking years now. Like this makes no sense. It does make a lot of sense when you really stop and think about it. Here's where it makes sense, and here's the point that a lot of people seem to be missing. When WWE Network was of its own entity, when you had to physically go out of your way to sign up for the WWE Network, there pretty much was no restrictions. WWE was able to do as they pleased. You all pretty much saw that. If there were any matches that had blood, foul language, you could usually play around with a setting where you could see, the real version, or you could see an edited version or whatever. But then even at that, marginally, there was some content that, oh, wait a minute, they changed. No, that's not what Hogan used to come out to. Hogan used to come out to Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Chow. Why are they editing the hell out of that? And then you got to go hop on Daily Motion or YouTube to find the original footage. But it was kind of minimal to a certain degree. Now that they've partnered up with NBC Universal, now it's a different ball game. You can't just have all of that type of content that you had before. You can't. Times have changed, and the sooner people understand that, the better. Look, I was watching a infamous episode of Quantum Leap. As you longtime listeners know, Quantum Leap, that's one of my all-time favorite shows. All time. And I was up this morning. Was pretty beat after I got done doing a bit of cleaning around the house. I'm kicking back. I'm watching it. And my girl just happens to wake up. So, she's watching it with me and everything. And it's from the first season. It's called The Color of Truth. And on this particular episode, Sam Beckett leaps. He's a time traveler. He leaps into the body of an old black man. And this is during the 1950s. It's around 1955. And I mean, you want to talk about segregation, you want to talk about racism and just oof. And during this episode, I remember this episode in real time when I was a kid and I saw the first run. I remember seeing it for many years since, whether it was on Sci-Fi or whoever had it. That episode, The Color of Truth, it was laced with the N-word so much. I mean that hard ER, not the one that ends with the A and rappers and fellow brothers and sisters. They pretty much, they've turned that negative into a word of love and endearment for their fellow for their fellow brother now, basically. No. We're talking about the hard ER. And it was always unedited, unbleeped. Word always went through. It must have been said at least 8 to 10 times on that episode. Even Sam Beckett said it. We watched this episode today, and the word was bleeped out. Not only was the word bleeped out, something I've never fucking seen before on a TV show, but they had this big old fucking circle cover the mouth when that word was being said. So on top of the bleep, you got this big ass fucking spot that's over the mouth so that you can't even read the lips, and you're like, damn, what the fuck? And I think I had watched Quantum Leap on, I'm pretty sure it was on Comet TV. For you guys that are curious, it was on Comet TV. Comes on weekly. They usually do about, I think, 2 episodes a night. I think it's 5 days a week, if you're curious. And I just remember, looking at my girl and I'm saying, damn, like, we know what they said, but goddamn, like, did they have to make the edit be so fucking obvious? Couldn't they say, you people? Couldn't they just, but we understood why they did what they did. They did what they did because times have, and my girl totally forgot. She said, oh, well, that word, and, you can't. And I told her, I said, I said, when this was on NBC originally, that word was unbleeped. She was like, really? I said, that word was unbleeped. I was like, I've seen this on Sci-Fi. I'm like, that word was unbleeped. It's like, I had it on DVD. I had the entire series on DVD. That joint, unbleeped. You go to Comet, the shit was bleeped. I'm like, times have changed. So, I get people being all in an uproar and all that. And look, to the people that's saying, gotta cancel my subscription, this is bullshit. Like, don't talk. Action. Just do it. If you're that frustrated over what's going on with the WWE Network, now that it's on Peacock, you don't like, a lot of what's happening, a lot of the editing and all that other shit, and this got you that rattled up, and you talking about you gonna cancel your subscription, just do it. You don't need to broadcast it. You don't need to take pictures. You don't need to do a video. You don't need to do no selfie or none of that other stupid shit. Just do the motherfucker already. Just do the damn thing. Just do it. That's what I say. I mean, look, for me, I'm not tripping because I've lived through multiple decades of pro wrestling action from the WWE. So everything in my head is still almost as if it were yesterday. And if I am feeling that nostalgic and I want to make sure that I'm watching something in its truest form, I, for one, of all people, will tell you, see if you can find it on Daily Motion or WWE or YouTube first. See if you can find it on there first before you go to the network. That way you can make sure you're really enjoying it in its truest form. That's what I would tell anybody. I think it's wrong. Don't get me wrong. I do think it's wrong how WWE is operating. I mean, honestly, what I wish would happen, I wish that WWE through NBC Universal, I wish, like, for example, with the Bad News Brown Roddy Piper WrestleMania 6 joint, I wish that as soon as you played WrestleMania and when it was almost time for that particular match to come about, I wish there would be some type of a graphic and maybe you could have Michael Cole come in there and say, folks, the following match that you're about to see, may contain, racial overtone, maybe too sensitive or extreme for, you could always just kind of go in that direction. I'm curious, and I think this would be a damn good question for Teal Piper. I'm very curious what she thinks about this, if she has any memories about that match her dad had with Bad News Brown, if she has any stories about things he might have said about that match over the years. Did he ever, before he passed, did he maybe regret was he caught up in, I don't believe he ever was caught up in the whole race thing. I just think it was a case of, but I'm just curious. You understand what I'm saying? I'm very curious what she has to say about that, and how she feel her dad would react to how WWE is operating with that particular moment in history now. We got to tread lightly, man. We got to be very, very careful in regards to this whole cancel culture and a whole bunch of other shit. We got to be very, very careful, because I see a fine line that's being rocked a bit of crying wolf, but also reshaping history. And what I mean by reshaping history, you should never try to erase history. History should always be there. That moment in history should always be there so that folks can reflect, so that they can have conversations. And most importantly, you feel where I'm coming from? There should be that. There should be that. We should be able to look at something from 30, 40, 50 years ago and wow, so that's how they were operating back then, huh? Understand what was going on during, not justify, understand the circumstances surrounding XYZ, said topic. And okay, what were the pros from this? What were the cons from this? Lord forbid there was nothing but cons that came from this. Everything is a learning experience. Take what we need to learn from that moment in history and make sure that as far as in the present and in the future goes, it does not define who we are as an individual. It does not define who we are as human beings, as a society, as a nation, as a world. You feel where I'm coming from? So, not to get all that deep and philosophical, but we gotta find that nice balance. That's the word for this week, balance. I've said balance a lot this week. You feel where I'm coming from? Like, you look at the whole Pepe Le Pew thing. Need I really say anything more about that? I'm sorry, but when I was a kid and it came to Pepe Le Pew, first of all, I couldn't stand Pepe Le Pew. I thought Pepe Le Pew's shorts were the most boring fucking thing that Looney Tunes had to offer. I cringed when Pepe Le Pew came on. When Pepe Le Pew came on as a kid, I went and did something else. I played with my toys, or I was looking outside the window, or I was just drawing in my little coloring book or whatever. I didn't care for Pepe Le Pew. Give me Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Give me Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny. Give me Daffy Duck, Porky Pig. Give me Speedy Gonzales. Give me Foghorn Leghorn. You can even give me one of those little shorts where they're dealing with just humans. It's like a little narrative shorts. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can give me one of them joints. I'm good. The Pepe Le Pew, fucking put me to sleep. You tell me Pepe Le Pew is no longer gonna be involved, and I say, oh, okay, well, that's cool. He's not really a strong character anyway. But then to tell me, well, no, he's pretty much been axed because the cancel culture society, they basically deemed him as a sexist, as sexist, as a he's basically the he's basically the Anthony Como of cartoons. It's like, are you fucking shitting me? Never mind the fact that he essentially was going after the same goddamn woman for I don't know how many decades, and never mind the fact that, you know, when they were doing the little spin-offs or whatever, you know, if I remember it right, him and the cat somehow did have kids. And they were a nice little lovey-dovey couple. Never mind all that, but you know, okay, never mind. I got nothing. I ain't gonna touch it no more. I ain't gonna touch it no more, man. Impact Wrestling is moving to Thursday nights on Access TV. This is effective April 8th. Thursday, April 8th is when it's going to be going down. So yeah, this is good. This is good. You know what? It's a smart move for Impact. I'm glad that they made this move because honestly, NXT going to Tuesdays, that would definitely crush all the life out of Impact. So them going back to Thursdays, very smart move. It's a very fucking smart move. There's a Steve Austin 25th anniversary collector's box set that's available now. I don't know if you guys had saw this, but it's pretty cool. You get an exclusive Stone Cold established 1996 t-shirt. You get a miniature replica of the Stone Cold Legacy title center plate. You get a Stone Cold Steve Austin King of the Ring vinyl figure. You get a collectible enamel pen. You get an 11x14 poster. You get a Stone Cold can cooler. And you get a Austin 316 bottle opener. And it's pretty badass. If you guys are a little bit curious about how much this is going to run you, let me see if I can actually. It is going to run you. And apparently, there's only going to be 1,000 of these as part of a limited edition box set. So once it's sold, that's pretty much it. Trying to get the info for you guys. See what's going on with the price here. Hang on. And I think I might have it now. Oh wow, that's not bad at all. That is a steal. That is a steal. Shit, I might actually get this. Shit, this is a damn good steal. Let me show you guys a picture of this real quick here. For those of you that might be a little bit curious and you can't really hop on your computer right now, let me actually see if I can somehow show this to you guys. All right, give me a second here, guys. Let me open this up. We're almost done with the show, by the way. We're almost done. Let me see. How can I? That's what I want. That's what I want. And we'll add a new source instead. And what is this? Stone Cold joint. All right, got that loaded up. Okay. And where is it? Okay, hang on. There it is. All right, so you guys should be able to see it now. Let's see here. See, it's the wrong files. Hang on, guys. Let me do it like this. I'm gonna have to do a workaround real quick. Bear with me a second, because I want to show this to you. This looks pretty badass. Okay, that's perfect. And let's save it. Okay, make that a JPEG. I gotta convert it a different way, so that's what's going on. It's a WMP. What is this? Looks like originally it was a WEMP, whatever that shit is. So I'm changing it to a JPEG, and I actually should be okay now. Let's look here. And let me look here. Yeah, that needs to be an image. Hang on. I got it this time. Hang on. I should have did that the first time. Just swipe out the fucking Drake image and we're good to go. All right, now you guys are going to be able to see it. Let me just get rid of the chat real quick here. And let you guys see this. Feast your eyes on that. Isn't that badass? Now, I don't particularly care for the little box where my cursor is right here. I wish I could have gotten a better look at the shirt. Wish that shirt was opened up a little bit more. Stone Cold bottle opener. There it is right there. That bottle opener. And there's your Stone Cold can holder. There's your little Stone Cold skull plate. That's pretty badass. There's your Stone Cold enamel pin. I mean, that poster is badass. So this is going to set you back $54. Now, if your money is a little bit tight right now, but you pretty much have good credit and, you know, maybe you want to put yourself in a position where, you know what, maybe I'll charge it on a credit card, or maybe you don't have a credit card, but you got good history to a point where you can do some flex payments. You can easily go with Clenara. I don't know if a firm can hook you up as well, but you can definitely get this through Clenara for 4 interest-free payments of $13.74. Man, that's not bad, right? So, I mean, take advantage of that, especially if you're a big Stone Cold fan. Now, if you go on the website, you'll get a better look at the shirt. And literally, the shirt just says Stone Cold established 1996. You know, there's no Stone Cold face, nothing like that. You get the skull, and that's pretty much it. Looks like you get to... Oh, heads up. That shirt color that you see of navy blue, that's default. You're not going to be able to get it in black. You're not going to be able to get it in red, or... I think that kind of sucks. You know, I don't mind that nice little dark blue color. I don't mind that, but they should have given fans the option of having that shirt be in dark blue, black. That would have been kind of nice. But yeah, check that out. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. We were talking about the WWE Network earlier, and it looks like NBC is posting some job openings for WWE/Peacock positions. So if you guys know of anybody that needs a job, they're looking for a supervising producer. The supervising producer, WWE, will be an experienced and passionate creative professional focused on the conception and production of assets and campaigns in partnership with WWE to promote WWE content available on Peacock. These campaigns will use key WWE content to drive both customer acquisition and engagement retention. Supervising producer will work closely with creative and production teams at WWE to ensure a seamless partnership when it comes to marketing key priorities, including live pay-per-views, WWE originals, and WWE library content. They will oversee the work of internal editors, designers, and external vendors tasked with developing and executing creative marketing ideas and campaigns, while meeting with WWE regularly to make sure that the creative expression on our initiatives are closely aligned. So that pretty much lets you know what's going on with that job in a nutshell. There's also a manager brand marketing position that's open. There's also a director brand marketing position. And that's it. So, yeah, you guys know some people. Go check it out. Saw the return of NWA Powerrr this week. I was a little bit taken back by the fact that some people, it's a little bit rough for them financially. They don't have the $5 to spare to check out NWA Powerrr on a monthly basis, as it's now part of a monthly subscription on Fight TV. It just costs $5, and you can pretty much check out not just new episodes of NWA Powerrr. you can pretty much check out the entire catalog of NWA. So you could just binge for hours upon hours via Fight TV, because that's pretty much the only place you're going to be able to check it out now. But I did check out the premiere. It was really good. It was a nice, fun return of NWA Powerrr. I legit, no bullshit, I had missed the fucking show. Some quick results here with regards to the show. Velvet Sky is now part of the commentating team. She's now joined alongside Tim Storm and Joe Galli. You know, it's going to take me a while to get used to Velvet Sky on commentating. Now, if you ask me straight up, do I see potential? It's hard to say, and I really wish I was in a position where I was just trying to be too nice, too diplomatic, but that's my honest response right now, because Velvet Sky seemed so nervous on commentating, very nervous. She also talked at the same level, which came off nervous, kind of shy, unsure. That's how she came off. You know, when Tim Storm and Joe Galli, when they've got the excitement, sense of urgency that's going on in their voice, Velvet Sky remains exactly how she was the minute that she opened up her mouth and started speaking. So, I mean, look, camera-wise, beautiful. You know, she, presence, as far as the whole presentation goes, good. But, you know, for me, honestly, I was okay with Taryn Terrell. If you maybe wanted to go in the direction of Taryn Terrell being the commentator, I actually would have been okay with that versus Velvet Sky. I felt Taryn Terrell's bubbly personality, and she seemed to click okay with the boys from the guest spot that she did for Back for the Attack during the weekend. So it's going to take me a while to get used to Velvet Sky. I mean, look, she's with Tim Storm. She's with Joe Galli. I'm sure they'll definitely do their best to really break her in. But that's where I am. I mean, honestly, I think you're just fine with Tim Storm and Joe Galli, personally. But she's supposed to be part of it. Hey, cool. It is what it is. It's cool. Camille had defeated Alex Garcia. Remember? Oh, I knew I was going to fuck that up. Gracia, not Garcia. We got to flip it. The R is in front of the A on this one. Gracia. Camille, nice, good, strong, dominating performance against Alex Gracia. Remember, Camille is now your new number one contender for that NWA Women's Championship. Camille came out of this just steamrolling the fuck out of Alex Garcia. I mean, nice. I mean, just having her way with that damn girl, just slinging her around all over the place. Austin Idol had properly introduced Tyrus as his new client, taking his shots at Magnus at the same time, saying, I called him Magnus. Forgive me, guys. Nick Aldis. I can't believe I'm still calling him Magnus. Austin Idol taking his shots at Nick Aldis, letting him know, hey, you know, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be the NWA champion. And Austin Idol pretty much is putting that same energy and enthusiasm that he had bestowed upon Nick Aldis, taking him to the NWA Heavyweight Championship and promising he's going to do the same thing for Tyrus as well. By the way, I saw that little spot where Austin Idol had the commercial going on. You want to learn with the best. You want to train. Come to my training academy school. I'm not sure if you guys went on the site to look up the info, but basically it's about a little over $3,000. And I think the course lasts about 10 weeks. They can train you in being a wrestler, a valet, a manager, a commentator. And they got payment plans flexible payment plans, that's available. I think there was one joint where basically you're paying $200 weekly, if I remember it right. However, I believe you have to put $1,000 down, or maybe up to $2,000 down. So check it out. But I mean, it seems pretty reasonable. South Carolina too. That's where it is. South Carolina. NWA Television Championship #1 contender match. Fred Rozier defeated Matt Cross and Marche Rocket. It's pretty good. Pretty good matchup. Nice seeing Fred Rozier, Darren Young for you WWE fans. Nice to see him getting off to a nice, good, white hot start there. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do in NWA. I think he fits that mold rather well. So looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do. Mike Perro defeated Jordan Clearwater. Great to see Mike Perro back in action again. Mad respect to him too. Remember, he had came out gay a couple of years ago and had a nice wedding ceremony with his partner and everything. He's picked up a little bit of weight though. I mean, look, you're happy. That's all that matters, right? That's all that really matters. But he's picked up some weight. Still moves the same and everything. He's just picked up a little more weight. He's not as I don't want to say chiseled, but he's not as well built as some of you all may remember from the previous years. Thunder Rosa had an interesting segment where this was really weird. I wasn't sure what was going on with this segment, but Thunder Rosa, she had a nice little talking segment where she talked about, great week that she's had in pro wrestling, the match she had with Britt Baker, admitting that she came up short at Back for the Attack, but it's not going to stop her. She's going to just keep on. Melina had came out, and Melina was just apologizing for any, past beef, past history that the two of them might have had and everything, and that going forward, if there's any way that Melina can be of service to Thunder Rosa, valet, manager, just anything, she's more than willing to help her out, offer her services. And Thunder Rosa tells her point blank, look, what's past is past. Whatever was going on between you and me, it's in the past. It's all good. But look, I've been able to do everything that I've been able to do so far in my professional wrestling career on my own. And no disrespect, but I don't need your help. I don't want your help. I'm good, really. But thanks anyway. Melina tried to press upon it again, but Thunder Rosa shot it down. It was an awkward exchange. A very awkward exchange. Thunder was good. Melina, I'm so used to Melina being on point when it comes to her promos and all that. This was a very shaky promo. I felt as though, damn, who died? Is everything okay? Damn, Melina, what's going on, hon? Why are you so sad? Did you get some bad news? Did you find out you weren't getting your stimmy? Like what was going on there? I know you young kids like using that term, the stimmy. I know. I see. I'm paying attention. Stimmy. I want some stimmy. Stimulus. Stimmy. Nick Aldis, Tom Latimer, Chris Adonis in the main event defeated Kratos, Aaron Stevens, and the Pope. Questionable moments had came there in the final moments of that matchup, man. Pope pretty much had. I'm trying to think who was the opponent in the ring. It was Chris Adonis. That's what it was. So Pope pretty much was owning the hell out of Chris Adonis. Pretty much had the match and the victory in the books. But then, wham, out of nowhere, Kratos tags himself in. Pope is pretty pissed off about this. He's arguing to the referee. And while he's arguing to the referee is pretty much distracted. Kratos brings in a steel chair, and he's getting ready to go medieval on Chris Adonis with it. All of a sudden, Aaron Stevens comes from behind, grabs a steel chair, tells Kratos, not like this. We're not going to win like this. No, not having it. Adonis comes from behind, gets a roll up, 3 count. Team of Nick Aldis, Thomas Latimer, Chris Adonis, pick up the dub. Post-match, Kratos, extremely pissed off at Aaron Stevens. Aaron keeps telling him, not like that. We're not going to win like that. I've had it. I'm done. We need to switch it up. We need to change our game. No, I'm not going to do it like that. We ain't going out like that. So, tag team turmoil right there. Because remember, they're the NWA tag champions currently and everything. So, looks like we've already got the seams coming loose for that respected tag team there. But that pretty much was your NWA premiere. It was a decent show, definitely worth the $5. I do feel, however, that NWA could, and maybe in due time, give them about maybe 3 to 5 months. It feels as though they really need to add some more names to really get it popping and try to give fans that extra incentive of, you definitely need to be spending your $5 because this is what you're going to be missing. And I was talking with a few friends about this on social media, and they need to, if they haven't tried already, they need to go after a JTG. They need to go after a Carlito. If Kaz is available, Enzo, they need to go after those guys. Those guys, talk about really good fucking talents. They need to go after those guys. I'm trying to think, like what other cool, popular names of cats that's out there that they could go for. I don't know if they could tap into him, if there could be maybe some type of an arrangement. But, I think Alex Hammerstone would fit in quite nicely over there as well. I definitely feel he would fit in quite nicely. But yeah, they definitely need to add a little bit more star power. Look, I don't know what's going on with Kylie Ray. Yeah, I don't know if she truly has her demons in a bottle now. Whatever was going on with her before. But if she can prove herself, consistency, reliability, I could definitely see her helping out tremendously for the women's division in the NWA. Axel as well. Hell, I don't know if they can afford him, but now that Andrade is free, I'm just saying, you might be able to do a little something there. Maybe you could do something with Michael Elgin, but then at the same time, do you really want to be associated with, I recognize he's a good talent, but there's some baggage that comes with it, much like the baggage that's currently with Tyrus right now, which kind of makes it an odd, you feel where I'm coming from? Austin Aries. Austin Aries, the greatest wrestler alive. You got Austin Aries running around. Hell, RVD. You got some names that's out there. And when I was saying Axel earlier, I was thinking about Curtis Axel. You got him running around. Curtis Axel would fit so damn well in NWA. He would fit so damn well in NWA. But yeah, they got a lot of potential. They just got to do a little bit more to really make that fan feel as though I gotta spend that $5 because I gotta see these talents. So give them about maybe 3 to 5 months. Maybe there's some stuff that's already happening in the works. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it there. Let's see. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else we need to dive into. So we could pretty much say this show is in the books. So you guys got yourselves a nice little deluxe edition. Time wasn't really an enemy tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this for what it's worth. Your next edition as far as what I got planned for the week. I got to do some Patreon content. I'm definitely going to put out a new episode of Impact Showdown before the weekend is out. I'm definitely going to get this episode out there quick as I can. The turnaround for Impact Showdown, I'm probably not going to release that, maybe not until Saturday night, most likely Saturday night. There's definitely going to be Patreon content coming. I'm actually going to record a new 30 with Lee, reviewing that Zack Snyder Justice League, because I've yet to talk about that. So I'm definitely going to do that. We also got a new Wrestling with the Topics that's going to be in the works. That's definitely going to be dropping on Friday for our Patreon members. So sign up, patreon.com/RCWR Show. $5 a month. Check out bonus audio video content. Won't be able to find anywhere else. And hey, one more time, if you guys had enjoyed the show, please make sure you go out of your way. You hit that subscribe, click that like, hit that bell notification. Make sure you're checking your bell notification settings so you don't miss all the good content that comes your way on a weekly basis. Yeah. Get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use keywords, the RCWR Show. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Stick a fork in it. This show is in the books. It's done. Unless I hear from you guys with regards to our Patreon content and Impact Showdown that's going to be dropping over the weekend. Unless you have other plans. Have a great weekend. I'm wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. And I will see you guys next go round. Adios, y'all. Take care.